It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and Chella is here guest hosting with me from Chicago.
Hey, I'm here.
And we have a very special guest from Ghana. Let me say his name right, Sarkodie.
Sarkodie, yes.
Sarkodie, but we're going to call you Sark for the rest of the interview.
I feel you, I understand.
But welcome to Way Up with Angela Yee, and I really appreciate having you here. You have such a huge following. Some people would say that you are the biggest artist from Ghana.
I don't want to say that.
But some people would say that.
Yes.
Because you're very humble.
Appreciate it.
You're also the first artist from Ghana to reach 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
That just happened. Big shouts to the fan base. They updated me on that. You know, I'm really bad with keeping up with my own self. And I saw it on Twitter that I hit 1 million, which is great.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
What is your secret to connecting with people the way that you have?
I think I came in the game by default through the back door, meaning I didn't come through media, really, because I was trying to literally come as a commercial artist and have my songs on the radio. But that didn't happen because the type of music I was doing at the time was not what was happening at the time. It was like super commercial, high life music that was dominating. And I was rapping on sometimes kicks without no bass line, just raw, what I felt. So I had to take to social media. So that's when I built a following. And I also used to do rap battle on a radio station in Ghana. So that kind of built my followers because they used to vote every Saturday. I had to battle over 20-something MCs. And I kind of came on top all the time.
That's
right.
So, that is pressure.
Yes.
It is.
Okay.
That's a lot.
I built a following that cared about the journey because they were part of it from day one till now. So it's a bit of, it's beyond just having a hit record. It's more of we know that's our guy sitting there. Yeah.
And to this day, you're still independent, right?
Yes.
Sheesh, that is amazing
Yes.
for you to have accomplished just even the international superstardom that you have being independent. You know, is there a situation where you feel like you would sign to a major label?
To be very honest, I really wanted to in the beginning. I still would love to. I think partnership is good. It just has to make sense to you. So in the beginning, that's what I was looking for. It started in Ghana. Even in Ghana, I was looking for a label in Ghana because I've never been signed even in Ghana. So the type of music I was doing, as I said, people did not believe that I was going to sell. So I had to do stuff on my own. So just being able to do stuff and flipping back to back, I got used to it. So it's my own being stubborn. That's why I don't involve people coming in. It's
Some
hard for
people
me to
miss
do
the
that.
bag then, because I'm sure those people that you had an opportunity to sign with,
I know, right?
I know they're like, damn, we missed the bag
And
with
I
this
still
one.
see a couple of them, but I think it's just it's meant to be that you were supposed to be in charge of what you're doing, and you
Right.
can't fight it. Because I didn't understand why people did not want to sign me. Because there were a lot of people around them that I felt I could have done better, but I always get passed on. You know, so then I had to do it myself. I paid my first video with my first paycheck.
Sheesh.
I remember it was a beauty pageant in Ghana where I got my first paycheck, and then I shot my first video with that. So then I built that flipping of money till date. So I'm used to it. I'm not saying that's the best way all the time. 'Cause
It's just work
sometimes-
for you.
Yeah, sometimes you need a weight off you, which I feel sometimes that I wish I could have a backbone that could take care of certain things that I don't have to think about too much because it's a lot. Being a creative person and also thinking about me being here, how to navigate my way around and all of that. So it's pressure, but sometimes I enjoy it. But
I like that you hit me directly.
Yes.
I think that's a nice personal touch to be able to reach out and be like, hey, I want to, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So as far as you, though, people did see something in you, though, because that was why you managed to get collaborations early on and everything. There were people who were like, yo, he's really, really dope. So for you, helping out other artists, because you also have artists that were signed to you,
Yes.
right? So talk about what it's like to be a boss when it comes to dealing with other people, because that's not an easy situation. I feel like being an artist and having artists signed to you, sometimes it's harder than anything because they relate to you in a different way and have a different type of expectation.
True. You said it so right. So what I realized was because I'm an artist, I feel for them. And I feel like I would like to give them what I would want if I had a situation. Because I'm probably one of the few labels that gave a 50-50 percentage while I was putting in the money. You know, because that's what I would have loved for myself.
I wouldn't do that. No, I'm kidding.
You know, so all my artists
I need
had
my
a
money
very,
back first.
Yes, all my artists had a very good run with me. And to date, they still get paid, though they are not on my label. So Yes, I just felt at a certain point I needed to look out for other artists. What I was looking for when I was coming, which I didn't get, I had to like do it for other artists. But in Africa, or maybe I can limit it to Ghana, the resources are not that strong for an artist to be able to sign an artist. You know, it's a lot of pressure. So what I did after them is to take my time and get things right before I would sign somebody officially to become the one to run to when you need something. Because it's a lot of, it's a lot of responsibility. So now I kind of like endorse or co-sign people and then let them go.
Right.
To figure their own stuff out, because I enjoy the liberty of being free and I want other artists to feel like that. So
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the meat of this, because the most recent song you put out is called Try Me.
Try Me.
I cannot believe you did that, because I feel like you try your hardest to not engage in like even doing press, and you've even said that you like to keep your personal life separate from you as an artist. But in this particular situation, you've had to address things that have been said about you, right? And so what was your decision in making this song? So people are calling it a diss song, but I feel, and it is harsh, I'll say that, because it hurt my heart when I was like, ooh, I would hate for somebody to, I would not want to go back and forth with Sark on a situation like this. But what made you decide this was the move that you were going to make as far as addressing, this book where it was referenced you made a woman have an abortion?
To be very honest, it's a sensitive conversation that the reason why I didn't do no media run or press around it is because I know I might lose how I would like to present what I feel about it. So normally this is not the first time I've done records to address certain issue, or maybe a line or two in a record, just to, because I don't know, there's certain energy I hate to feed into, especially speaking about it, because I might lose my cool. So with this situation, yes, exactly. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm super proud of everything. It's just in the moment how I felt, whether it be my truth, there should have been a way that you could have said it. That's why I don't like to speak about it, because this is a conversation between two people, but then we could have a conversation if you want to talk about it, because it involves me as well.
Right.
But because people know the Sark doesn't speak, people think they can say something and no, Sark is not going to speak, and then it's going to get away with it.
Right.
So once in a while, you just
let them poke the bear. Yeah.
Exactly.
Poke the bear.
So,
and because I'm the same way. If people talk crazy about me, I don't like to address things because I feel like it gives it way more life.
Exactly.
And I see people do it all the time. And instead of me engaging in a back and forth, I'm like, you know what? Go ahead. I'm going to just keep on doing my thing and not let anybody knock me off my square.
True.
But this time you said, it wasn't a line or two. I mean, so I want to know.
It's a whole record.
Who did you let hear this first? Was anybody in the studio with you when you did this?
That's what's funny.
Please.
My team is here. They're all like, people think my team is in support of what I did or the record. None of them knew I did the record, because I was on tour. I'm actually on tour when it happened.
Yes.
So, and sometimes when I feel something, then the lyrics is going to come right there and then. So I sneaked into the studio to even record this. I didn't let nobody hear it, because I didn't want to hear no advice.
Right.
I just literally want to do what I felt at that point. And face the consequences later on. But it wasn't like the whole team sat down and said, this is good to go. I did it personally for myself.
They probably was like, what are you doing? I can imagine those phone calls and text messages.
a lot of phone calls. So in the heat of the moment, the person that I didn't hear from, which normally she would have been the first person to hit me, is my lawyer. So early morning, I was trying to tease her, and I said, Mama C, so don't you care about what's happening? Because you would hit me up and say, what are we doing? But the sad news is she was dead at the same time.
What?
Yeah, so I see 2 texts go. I didn't hear, of course, she would respond like within 5 minutes.
Wow.
It took hours, and then I heard she's no more. So
oh
just
my
within
God,
that period,
that's
it was
awful.
like very, very tough time within that short period.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Good.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. Ooh,
Yeah, so she would have been somebody
uh-huh.
who I know wouldn't endorse that that situation of how I wanted to handle it, but I just felt like it. Like this, I normally don't do it, but this, to me, I think I'll get to a point where I can speak freely about it. I think it's still fresh, that I still want to process it before I can really speak.
And this is something that happened a really long
13
time
or
ago.
something,
Yeah. So this is something that she brought back up. And then I know in interviews you don't even really like to address things like this, but since you put the song out, and it felt like somebody leaked it first.
Yes.
And so maybe you didn't even intend to put it out. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay. So you're like, well, it's here now.
Because it's in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Where I was, it was like very late. I think 2 a.m. And then I see Twitter going crazy and people putting out the record.
Oh, so dang.
I have no idea because I didn't give it to. So I have like 2-3 people that I don't want to suspect. You know,
Right.
it's going to create some energy because I
Right.
I did it just to hold on to it and see if I'm going to release it. But then when it came out, I was like, let me just put it out. Yeah.
Do you do that often? Like something goes on and you're like, let me just do a song about it and then
Yes.
kind of put it away, like kind of like a getting something off your chest diary, because you do come from that school of rap battling.
Exactly.
So when something makes you mad, I could see you, instead of
Yeah.
writing it down, you might just be like, let me just go in the booth and do something.
Yeah. I express myself well when I do music. I think I say the best if I do music. If I speak about it, I don't know if I'm a good person that express himself well.
Right.
I can talk about my life or whatever, but there's certain situations I know that I might lose my cool. Things I'm very passionate about, it's hard for me to speak about it because I'll be lost. Even in the thought, I'll be all over the place. Conversations like even talking about my people and how our music and how we're supposed to survive and do this. I care so much about it that when I speak about it, because of the passion and emotions I have for it, I might not be able to get to the point. But when I do a record, I have time to really say exactly what I want to say. So when something happens, I feel like, let me just do a record. Or most people are lucky. Sometimes it will be a line or two in a verse.
a little stab.
But if I do a whole joint for you, that
whole...
means few times I've done that. I think this is the second time I've done like a record on one particular situation. That should tell you that this
non-living thing?
Non-living thing? It wasn't. I have similar situation, but it's not exact.
Right. I mean, it was a heartbreak type of...
Yes, because I faced that some time ago.
And it feels like that was about a particular person or and situation.
I don't think so, because I didn't... With Try Me, I knew what I was doing. Non-living thing, I didn't.
Okay.
But then you can see yourself that something is creeping in that you don't know that's what you're talking about. I don't know if you get that.
You were just expressing emotion, and then it was kind of bringing up feelings
yes, exactly.
of
and
a breakup.
That's going to creep into it. Because what I was saying was exaggerated. I've not faced that before. But there are similar things in there that I've seen. But so that wasn't like towards... So,
anybody.
So there's a funny story. I did which never came out. I did a whole project around the time where I had a situation with this girl that we broke up. And I didn't know how bad it creeped into my creativity. Because the whole album was towards me speaking about women in a certain type of way. But in different version.
Right.
But it was all kind of like, I didn't notice it until the whole project was done. I was listening to it. I'm like, what's different about the songs? It's the same thing, just different angles. So something like that I didn't know, but it was creeping into the writing.
Okay.
So non-living thing could be that, but I didn't think about somebody because the hook was given to me by Oxlade.
Okay.
So
it's a beautiful song. People love that song. And I think, do you feel like as the further you've gone in your career, the more you've been able to open up about emotions and telling more about yourself?
I'm still not good with that. I still put limitations to it. But I definitely love music that makes you feel something.
Right.
Yes.
Where do you think that comes from for you?
I seen
as in like putting those limitations on yourself. Why do you think that you do that?
I have no idea. I think I just figured out a way to guard myself. I don't know what the reason is, but I still find a way to guard myself. So I kind of like turn myself vulnerable to few people that I would have to care that much if something happens. So my mental state with even the industry, I don't really have people that I count on too much. So I don't get hurt easily to break my whole process.
Right.
So few people, close family, the team, few people around me that I'm vulnerable to, that I know these guys can really break me when something happens. But I don't make it too much, especially with the industry. So it's rare that you find Sarkodie having an issue with anybody in the industry, because I feel like nobody owes you nothing. If they choose to support, that's okay. So I never have grudges with people. I never start, because I don't think you owe me anything. So that whole, I don't think it's a persona, but it's like a shield for my own peace.
I just ask that because sometimes it is how we were raised, like in our families. Because I know for me, like my family is not very emotional, and so I can be really guarded about certain things too.
Okay.
You know, just because we weren't raised that way to be super expressive and like saying everything that we feel all the time.
Right. Versus
Probably
me.
that too.
Yeah. You said
Yeah,
what?
opposite.
You too?
Versus me.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
No, Chella would tell you everything. She'll
opposite.
start crying right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm just very vocal. So
Okay.
like, but I also can relate to like when somebody's steady poking. You know what I'm saying? It's like music, and I just said that it's a form of expression. So you just making stuff, and it's just like you just saying what's on your mind, and it's just it goes there.
Listen, I think that's the end of that, because after this song, I don't know if I would ever want to battle you about anything, because y'all got to listen to it. We'll play some of it that we can.
I like it.
You said I like it.
I liked it. I think
Has
it
she
was vocal.
has she responded at all?
I have no idea. I've not.
No. Like, has anybody said? Because I know your followers will tell you. And it
No,
hasn't been
I
anything.
haven't, like, when I put it out, I wasn't looking for. I did it because I want to do it. I'm not looking for a reaction. You know, I just.
But you
said
didn't
it.
even intend to really put it out either.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
That
not really
too.
looking out for it and trying to like figure out who said what. I just said it and that's it.
Now I gotta ask you this, because you are married, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did your wife say about all this, and did she know in advance, or did she find out with everybody else?
To be honest, I really still don't want to like speak about that, but I think
Okay.
she handled it the way that I didn't think she was going to be able to handle it. You know, she was cool about it. She cared more about how I was feeling, which was
That's great.
Right.
You know, she was like if I was good because I was on tour, so that was her worry about how I was feeling.
Because she knows it's out of character too. It's not like you just be firing off on people.
Yeah, she knows that it takes a lot for me to speak. Because, to be very honest, the reason why I don't speak, which might sound a certain type of way, but I feel like nobody's really worth my response, which has always been my stance. Because if it should be somebody that I'm going to benefit from, even if I don't want to respond, I will respond because I'll benefit out of it. But most times, the people that speak about Sarkodie, if I look at them from top to bottom, I'm like, is it really worth it for me to go back and forth with this person? You know, that's the main reason why I don't speak. And I'm beyond. When I started the journey, I cared a lot about what people said, and then I realized that it actually doesn't change anything. People said a lot about Sarkodie. I was not going to be able to be on this platform rapping in my native language. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to do a show in the States. I took the BET award. Like, so now when I hear people speak, I'm like, you're just saying something. It's not going to change anything. So
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
you've done a lot of firsts.
Yeah.
Yes.
When it comes to what it is that you do too, and even like you said, being able to rap in your native language, and also just go back and forth, I think so fluidly with English. You
Yes.
know, what's your native language? I don't want to say it wrong ever.
So use CH and tree.
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 Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying. But that's a real skill, because even when
Yeah.
you're listening to it, I don't even know. I'm like, I can't tell. Sometimes you just switch over and I'm like, oh, and then he's back.
And you know, that's deliberate. That's what I did. So when I started in Ghana, I was just rapping in tree and with no style. So I was very lyrical. So what I was saying, Ashantis, which is where I'm from, they understood what I was saying, so they could relate. But when I go to parts in Ghana where you go to the north or the Volta region, they still didn't get it. So I had to work on flow and delivery. So now, what you guys are experiencing now is the point where I want to please you guys as well. So that's why you can listen at this point. Years back, you wouldn't get it. You're like, what is he saying? Oh, there's no wow factor about it. But now I had to deliberately sit down and go like, how is Angela Yee going to appreciate this song without understanding?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
the people that I love from America, I love Eminem. When I was younger, you guys think how you're speaking now is normal, but this is an accent when you go to Africa.
Yeah, of course.
So as much as we're speaking English, a lot of people might not get it.
And she's
So-
from Chicago. When she speaks, it's an accent to me, and I'm from
Exactly.
Brooklyn.
Yeah,
When I
same
speak, people be
thing.
like, you have-
Exactly. But then when we feel the music, we feel it. So
Right.
that's what so why do they like it? Why do they like Busta Rhymes? Oh, because of how he's
He
flowing.
flowing.
So then I had to work on that. And that's I'm still working on to get it to the next level. But that's what you guys are hearing now.
And you've been doing some amazing collabs too. You like Chicago artists too. That's why I was like, oh,
Yeah,
Chella.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. How did that come about? I seen you had some
Chance?
stuff with Chance.
Yes.
And Vic too,
Vic,
right?
yes.
Yep.
So it started with Vic. I heard him speak. He's Ghanaian, so it made sense. And he was always in Ghana. And he's one of the few people that wanted to put his people on. So I
Yes,
saw it
he is.
earlier on. He mentioned my name on a big platform here in the States. I was like, and we never met at that point. So
That's dope.
Yeah.
so I don't know how we met officially. I think through somebody. We met Beautiful Soul, a great person.
Yeah, he is.
It goes beyond music, and I like that. When you guys actually have a bond and the music happens, that's great. But if it's just based on, I know you have numbers and this and that, I don't believe in that. So it was organic. We had a great time. We drove around town, and we made music. We showed the video. Then through him, I linked up with Chance, and he also came down to Ghana.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, he was in Ghana. I think Chance tweeted at me when I won the BET Best International Flow, and I told people to come to Ghana, and then he said he's definitely looking out, coming,
People did go to Ghana, by the way. We were
Yes.
just talking
Yeah,
about
it was
that.
a whole little Ghana fest
Yeah.
going on.
Now, were you there? You were there when everybody was there, right?
Yeah, because every Christmas I have one of the biggest shows in Ghana, so
That's
I have
why
to
we're
be there.
going this year.
Yes, I
Let's
have
go.
to be there.
We got the trip to Ghana planned. All I know is we see the videos with the boats and the.
It's crazy.
I'm
Okay,
like,
them
we need
videos
to
is
get
crazy.
It's crazy.
And the movies. I was just telling you about the movies. Like,
on Netflix.
I'm addicted to them. I know
Wow.
all the movies.
Wow,
Like, yeah.
wow! It's a beautiful spot to come to.
It is.
If you want peace and security-wise, if you don't want to care about working out at night and not nobody bothering you, that's Ghana. You know, very extremely peaceful, beautiful, and we love people coming from elsewhere to our country. We really know how to host. So a lot of your people are still staying there. They don't want to come back since
Yeah.
Christmas. You know, they bought properties out there. And they don't want to come back because the peace out there is crazy.
People do be like, I'm gonna get a place in Ghana.
Yes.
Everybody say that as soon
Yes.
as they go.
Yes. Yes.
Well, so what was life like for you growing up?
So I grew up with my mom, 4 siblings, including myself, 5, in a city called Tema. Then I was taken to Accra, which kind of like built. I think to answer the first question when you asked about the garden thing, I think it started from when I had to live with somebody that I went through like serious hardship with the person. And it's kind of like, as much as I love speaking about it, I still feel like the person didn't know better. So me speaking about it now, I still think about how they feel because I didn't have the best experience with them. But I also kind of like understand that they didn't know better at that point. But then
Right.
that doesn't take away from the fact that
This
maybe I
happened.
felt-
They
exactly.
action.
So that created the whole laid back and watching stuff and not getting involved in too much and watching life from this perspective. So stuff that I say in the music, if you understand, I speak about stuff that I haven't experienced, but I like to observe a lot, and that creates this persona. So yes, it was a tough beginning. I didn't know where mom was, didn't know where dad was, and I was staying with this person, and I had to go through like serious hardship to be able to. So that's where I developed writing.
Okay.
Then it turned into
Right.
music, because I just needed a way to speak about what I was
Yeah.
feeling, and I wasn't too much of a friends clique type of person. So it was a good therapy for me.
Sometimes our hardships is what make us really who we are today, too.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, you wouldn't have been writing and doing the things that you do if
Exactly.
you didn't go through what you went through to be able to.
It was meant to tailor make you. My dad was not around because I was supposed to do something, and probably maybe if you never know, but if maybe he was around, it might not be this way, right? So now when we had a heart-to-heart conversation recently, which I love him for even stepping up to have the conversation, I still said thank you to him because that situation created the Sarkodie you're seeing today. Because I'm saying stuff. The reason why Ghanaians love Sarkodie, which I know for a fact, is because of what I say. It's very deep for a young guy. When I came up, I was saying stuff that even the old people were not thinking about it.
Right.
And it's because of what I've been through. So I'm thankful for everything that happened.
How did the heart to heart even happen with your dad?
So my mom, and that's when women are going to come in, not to put genders, but the drama that comes with mom, right? Mom sits me down and goes like, no, didn't sit me down. She didn't talk to me, but she spoke to my dad saying that I am disappointed in him and I'm waiting for an apology. I never said that, right? So now I see my dad at my house at the door. I open, I'm like, it's all okay. I said, but you said I should come today. I said, no, I didn't say anything. So, your mom said, you said that you wanted to have a heart-to-heart conversation. So that's how come it happened. My mom just set that up so we can have a conversation. And when you started speaking, as much as, as a child, I was like thinking about what could have been right. But when he was speaking, as a man now, I'm not going to justify what he did, but I can understand. Just that maybe you dealt with it in the wrong way,
Right.
but I get it. It was way easier for me to speak to him now. Yeah.
Has that changed anything about you? Like sometimes you feel like this burden kind of lifted when you are able
Funny
to
enough,
have.
maybe I don't know if I was thinking about it or not, but I'm the type of person that can just move forward. I just appreciate
Okay.
whatever that's happening. I'm looking at how I turn out to be, and that's what I care about. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I was having this weight on me like, oh, I need to get this off, and I feel
Right.
like there was some limitations here and there. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate. My biggest problem, which is my blessing, is that I always appreciate every situation. So my sister sent me a voice note asking, have I ever been sad? Because they never see me like that before. Never. I only cried recently because of my lawyer.
Right.
But it's rare to catch me
Right.
being sad about anything because I understand.
And
you
there's
know.
so much to be grateful for.
Exactly.
It is. But
That's
this
how I think,
business is
too.
also a tough business too. Because it also sometimes can feel like the more success that you get, the more that comes your way as far as like issues. You're like, we didn't have no issue. Like, where did this?
Exactly.
Yeah, because
But I figured a way to, I need to, because I feel like I'm going to do this. Anything that you love so much, you figure a way to deal with it.
Right.
I don't see myself stopping this. So
Oh, no.
why not strap yourself to be ready to face everything that it comes with, to be able to do
Exactly.
it. So I think at this point, what can get to me is anybody that I love being affected by me.
okay.
That's not me. Personally,
Right.
I don't care.
You care
But
about how other people are affected.
yes, my
Right.
mom, wifey, kids, how are they feeling? That's going to get to me. But
Exactly.
because they didn't sign up for this. My
People,
daughter
by the
didn't.
way, love your wife.
Yes.
Because I saw she did an interview, and they were like, she's amazing. She speaks German fluently.
Yeah, because she stayed there.
Yeah, because she said she grew up in Germany.
Yeah.
And they just thought that, she minds her business
Mm-hmm.
and
And that's typically how she is. From day one, she doesn't really love this whole showbiz stuff.
Right.
She's not really into that.
yeah.
No.
Okay, well, fair enough. Now, how has the tour been going? Talk to us about that because you've been all over the place.
Yes, it's been beautiful. The last time I had tour, I do one-off shows, but having a tour, which is always hectic. The reason why I ran away from it, because I hate the whole waking up and going to check in somewhere else, and then you can't settle. You always have to have your bags packed.
But you
all
like
the
counting
time.
that cash,
Yes,
though.
yes,
Okay.
yes. So I can overlook that and just go. So
And also getting to see people.
exactly, and touch base with the people that listen to the music. So I just came from Europe, which was good. We did Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Antwerp, Italy. It was all great. Beautiful, beautiful event. And then we kicked off here in the States with the Coney Island show with Skip Marley. That's Bob Marley's grandson. Yes, he brought us over. Then we did my show,
Right.
which you were busy to come, but I was.
I was at
reserved
Patty
seats.
LaBelle's house, but I would have definitely been there.
Yeah,
and,
but that was great.
and you have a special type of Bob Marley, I guess, affinity
Yes.
as well. So talk about that too.
Yeah, that call came in, and I didn't believe it. I keep saying I thought it was like when I rap and I say I'm gonna do a song with Bob Marley, that would sound like a joke, like you're just trying to be funny, So for that conversation to start, I didn't believe it in the beginning until they sent the vocals. I'm talking about the original vocals of Bob Marley. This is a legend. That's a classic song. Stir It Up.
Stir It
and then
Up.
I was supposed to lay my vocals next to that. It was overwhelming. Yeah, but I had my producers. They gave us the creative freedom. It wasn't too much of them trying to tell us what to do. So just have the vocals and do whatever you want to do with it.
That
which
is
was
huge.
the best situation that every artist could ask for. So I had my people working on it, my engineer, my producer. Then we did it. I think we did 2 versions. The first version had English dominating because I was thinking, okay, it's gonna go to this type of crowd. So, but then they came back. They said, no, we chose
your
you
thing.
because of your how proud you are of your native tongue. So we want more of that, and that's what you guys are listening now.
I love that. That's great feedback.
Yes.
Because sometimes you try to adapt to what you think people will like, but what
Yeah.
people like is who you really are.
Exactly, exactly.
And you seem to be real humble and just got a great energy and just the way that you just speak and everything is like.
I appreciate it.
And I like how you speak on yourself in the third person too. It's like- I like that.
Shelly, you're going to start doing that now. I could
Yes,
already see.
okay.
Yes, yes.
And as far as your business, how good you are at business, like where did that come from? That type of knowledge?
I think that came from me trying to figure out things on my own, and it built because I want to do this. I had to learn how to do it. I got to see how much more you gain when you reinvest. So it started from that. So I saw that when I shot good videos, I became in a league of an African artist moving from a Ghanaian artist. So I'm like, okay, so the more you put in, the more you get out. So it started from that. And then, yeah, just literally built around just trying to figure things out. I made a lot of mistakes because I didn't understand. It took me time to get on paid platforms because in Africa, we're not used to that. You know,
Right.
we were still used to giving out free music because that's when the masses can get it. You know, the masses still don't have that access where they use cards, like Visa cards, to purchase music. It's not that normal there. So if you do it all paid platforms, it's hard to reach the people with time. But if you want your music to like go viral today, it has to be free. So it took me time to really catch on with getting checks on online platforms. But then I had great people, and I like to keep people that can teach me something. You know, I like to be taught. So my business partner, she's amazing. You know, she got me a deal with Standard Chartered Bank as an ambassador, and I just saw how she worked that collaboration, and I'm like, I need you. I know I can't afford, but I need you around me. You know, so someone like her taught me how to have conversations with the corporate world, because that has been a bridge between entertainment. Because when we're having the conversation, they don't get us and we don't get them. But when we have Angela Yee, who understands me, and then Angela Yee gets into that circle, she would know how to marry it. So, so I like people that can teach me stuff, and that's how I learn. I learn on the job.
They always say you should never be the smartest person in the room.
No.
Right.
Because then you're in
Yes.
the wrong room. You got to
Exactly.
figure out those circles.
Exactly.
So how do you think you can take Sarkodie to the next level? Because you're already right here, but I know
Yes.
you've been doing this all on your own. You know, so what do you think has to happen for you to take it to the next level? And what are some other things that you want to do? Because I can already tell just by your personality that it's not just music and tours. There's more things on the horizon.
I think at this point, if I have to be honest, I'm in between thinking about Sarkodie and thinking about Ghana music in general. Because doing back-to-back what I've been doing over the years, yes, I still feel like personally I have dreams that I want to achieve, especially for the fans, because that's the main people that I do this for, aside myself. They really want to see me do good, and I can feel that, especially from Ghanaians. They want to see me do better and go more. So yes, I still look forward to doing that. But I think there is this ecosystem that has to be sorted, especially for my people in Ghana, to make it easier for these young superstars coming to do what I couldn't do or what my generation couldn't do. I wanted to push the conversation further than what we did.
Right.
And I think that would be where my state of mind is. Personally, the fans hate when I speak like that because they still want me to speak about me and what I want to do for myself.
Yeah, but you, like you said, it was a lot of limitations and it was a lot of obstacles.
Exactly.
But because you know what they are, you can help knock those down
Exactly.
and figure out solutions.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to do at this point, or I'm doing in a way.
Because you are rebranding your whole label, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Eagle Plug is I don't call it a label, but it has all that services in there. But we're trying to make it easier for that bridge to happen for artists, you know, crossing over and making big moves and all of that.
All right. Well, I love to see it. And I am so appreciative that you stopped by because I know you were on this tour and you've been super busy. So it means a lot to me that you came through. And I also appreciate the fact that you were able to be really open about everything that's been going on.
It's Angela Yee.
We way up.
Yes.
But thank you so much. And
you
for
too.
everybody here in the United States, the tour is still happening.
Yes, and the new album is out called Jams.
Jams.
It's on all platforms. Beautiful, incredible music. And we have some other singles coming up as well.
What's the next single?
Songs. I'm yet to decide, but I have one with Ludacris, which is like...
I saw y'all in the studio together. You guys linked up like a long time ago before that, too.
Years ago. He came to Ghana, and then energy-wise, same thing. We just linked up on a good vibe. And then he came back years after, and we linked up again.
Because we saw that picture in the studio.
Yes,
so it
back
looks
to back.
okay.
So we have that single and a couple more, which interesting single. I just did a record while I was on tour in Europe. I met Ruga from Nigeria.
Nice.
And we did an amazing song. That's also a good song as well. So hopefully any of them can come anytime soon.
All right, super lit. We
Thank
love
you.
to see it.
Okay.
Well, Sark, thank you so much for joining us. It's Way
Appreciate
Up with Angela Yee, Chella. Thanks
I'm
for sitting in.
here.
Make sure she'll be in Chicago too, so you got to go to the
I'm
show.
gonna make sure I be there.
Appreciate it.
I'll be there.
Maybe y'all could rap battle.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. All
His
right,
first L.
it's Way Up with Angela Yee.